Madin Mazimba, back again. This is probably a late review, but it had to be done. It's a project that has caused a lot of noise and a lot of buzz in the streets. And today, after some months of listening, I'll be sharing with you my views and thoughts on the project Life of Muvhimi by Voltz JT. Now, I've been very impressed by Voltz JT since I had these days. And he was one of the guys who found a way to execute drill in a way that felt as if he was not trying to copy the British rappers. He found a way to incorporate Shona, and create a package, a sound that a lot of people enjoyed. Now, after these days, he followed it up with Zimbo, another track which I loved, and from then it was an upward trajectory for Voltz JT. And as we ended that year, he went on to win the best newcomer of the year, and it was something that a lot of people could not dispute, despite the lot of the controversy that always follows the Zim Hip Hop Awards. That is one award that a lot of people felt Voltz definitely deserved it. Now, it was prior to the release of this album, he released the track Shamari Yangu, which a lot of people have loved, and it was a different kind of Voltz JT. He was more composed, he was more chilled. It was a more relaxed tune as compared to his last tracks. Now, the album is finally out, and like I've said, for this past couple of months, I've been listening to this album, and today I'm sharing with you my views and thoughts on this album. Now, the production is very much well done. I loved the arrangements on this project. It's one of those projects which the tracks, they just flow well together. Voltz definitely showed he knows how to make a body of work, a full project. Because for a lot of guys, as you listen to the album, the tracks, they're sort of disjointed. But as you listen to this Life of Muvhimi by Voltz JT, it's one of those albums whereby you can just let it play from the first track to the last track. The tracks, they go very, very much well together. And also, one thing that I noticed as I listen to this album is that JT is sort of like switching up his sound. Like I've said, when he entered the scene, he had this very heavy trap drill kind of sound, but right now he's moving more to that trap kind of sound. His music is a bit more, chilled, composed. I think he's taking the route that he took on Shamari Yangu. You could feel especially in terms of the vocal performance, he's going towards that route more. A lot of the tracks on this album, they're sort of bass heavy, and that is something that is meant, it was a strategy that was employed so that, they could match his horsey type of voice. Now, in terms of the arrangement, I think he showed he's also not afraid to experiment with the track Kure. It's a track with a different arrangement, different feel as compared to all the other tracks on this album. It sort of reminds me of those tracks from the Golden Urban Grooves era movement. It sort of has that classic kind of vibe. And on this track, JT just showed that he's not afraid to leave his comfort zone. He's very much versatile. He also proved I can be versatile, although it's just one song, but he proved that he's not afraid to experiment with his sound. Now, on this project, as the title implies, the main topic of this project is the struggles of a hustler. JT is all over this album is sort of aligning his efforts, his thoughts, his plans to the important stuff in his life, his life goals, and is distancing himself from the petty issues that waste his time. So a lot of the tracks, they fall into that category whereby you see Kuti is sort of like tuning his mind, sort of like changing his perception and separating the things that matter and things that don't matter in his life. We also get some love tracks on the track Kure and the track Kwedu 32 featuring Tami Moyo. Now, in terms of the vocals, Voltz JT was solid throughout this album. He delivered his signature performance, and like I've said, the vibe that he introduced to us on Shamari Yangu is the vibe, is the JT, the performance that we get throughout this whole album. I have to say, I think this is now the new signature JT style. And the featured artists on this project, they all did very well. Doba Dawn was good, although towards the end of the track, Galis Kush was solid on Kure. Sun snapped on Dollar Deals, and Tami Moyo killed it. On Kwedu 32, and not all the featured artists, they all delivered solid performances. And in a nutshell, to end this review, I have to say I've enjoyed listening to this project. JT showed a lot of promise, and over these past couple of years since he released these days, he has, like I've said, he's been on an upward trajectory, and with his first project, he has showed Guti he also knows how to make a full body of work. Because for a lot of artists, they are very good at singles, but when it comes to the albums, it just falls apart. And this is one of those albums whereby, it's not about the hit songs, but it's about the cohesiveness, how you just enjoy listening to this album as a whole. And that is a plus, a bonus, something that JT definitely excelled on this album. It has some very good replay value. Now, if this album does not make you believe in the guy, then I don't know what will make you believe in JT. It's actually hard for me to choose a favorite. I think for now I like the track Mangwana. I also like Dollar Deals, Uriwangu. I love a lot of the tracks on this album. Like I've said, they're sort of cohesive. They go very well together. So if you like this track, you're more probably going to like the next track again. But I've enjoyed listening to this album, and I highly recommend it to anyone who wants to know the state of the local Zim hip hop scene. Now, my overall rating for this album, I give it an 8 out of 10. Now I know as of now a lot of you have managed to listen to this album. Now go in the comment section, tell me what you think about this project by Voltz JT. What's your favorite track about Voltz JT? And do you like this new kind of JT sound? And after that, just come back, like the video, subscribe to the channel. See you again next time.